Welcome back to Demo Discs here on DaveStation on the Treats and Machine channel. We are going to be taking a look at a few different game-specific demos. Now, I say we because the CEO, the main man, is with me. Mike, how are you doing?
Oh, mate, I love it when you call me CEO every time. Every time, a little smile on my face. I've never been called a CEO by anyone before. I am good, mate. I am good. I am really looking forward to this, though. Resident Evil 2 preview. Tell the audience what this is about.
So this demo disc, Resident Evil 2 preview version, actually came with Resident Evil Director's Cut. So if you bought Director's Cut back in the day on the PlayStation, this disc would have been included. And I thought that was pretty awesome of them to do that.
Did you buy Director's Cut?
I did indeed, and this demo disc came with it. So here we go. We're now starting off with the Resident Evil 2 demo. The music at the start is a little bit different compared to the finished version. But yeah, here we are. Resident Evil 2, the preview version.
So, silly question. You're playing now, yeah?
Yeah, I'm playing as Leon, as you can see on the screen there, doing what I always used to do with Resident Evil 2 at the start.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure if this was like a roll-in demo for a second.
Oh, right, okay. And this particular demo as well, there was actually a PlayStation 2 magazine. PlayStation 2? PlayStation magazine that also had a Resident Evil 2 specific demo on it.
Oh, I remember this. Hold your fire.
Now, Leon's voice is fine. However, Kendu's voice is high-pitched, which is hilarious.
Is it?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it is. compared to the finished version.
Oh,
His
that's
voice is
weird.
high-pitched.
What's going on in this town?
So if we listen to this part...
Hold on. I don't have a clue.
Yeah, it's different.
By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire
Is it a
city
different
was
voice
infested
actor?
with zombies.
I think it's the same voice actor, but for some reason on the preview on this demo, his voice is pitched higher than usual, which I think is really strange. So exactly like the finished version, although there's a typewriter, strangely, here. That's definitely not there in the finished version of the game. But of course, this happens.
So going back to his voice, do you think that was a stylistic choice done on purpose, maybe? Or is it just something to do with the way they've edited the audio for the final game?
I think it's something to do with the way they've edited it for the final game. They thought, actually, this sounds a bit silly. You know, this is a deadly serious game, so they pitched it down to make it sound less silly. That's what I think they did.
It's a bit like what we do for the videos for this channel, actually, guys, because usually my voice is like this, and Dave has to slow it down.
Yeah, so everybody knows about this. I mean, I could get the shotgun if I can... Oh, okay.
I love this game. I know that's not news to anyone. Everyone loved this game. But it's my favourite, I think, for sure. My favourite Resi.
I'm trying to cheese it, because if you do it from far enough distance, you can stab them and get hits on them and get them out of the way. You get them stuck behind an object. That was something I learned from the first game.
Okay.
So instead of wasting handgun bullets, I'm just using the knife, you see. So I've got them
I
sorted.
didn't know about that cheese, basically. It's like a cheese, isn't it? A cheese manoeuvre.
Yeah, so now I'm going to get the shotgun earlier than you normally would. Because normally you go into the police station, you get the shotgun. Because it's so much better to fight that damn licker with a shotgun. Because you will fight the licker. Let me just see if I can get... Oh, I'm going to hit the counter. I might actually get killed. This might be over quicker than we think.
How long is this demo, then?
So this demo, from what I can remember, you get to the STARS office in the police station.
Yeah.
And then that's basically it. Now, what's strange is the ending of the demo, because Ada appears. Rather than it being, I think it's Claire in the final game that comes in, Ada appears. And then that's it. It's basically a to be continued moment. I think she comes in and points a gun at Leon, and then that's it. I'll try and get to that as quickly as I can. And then we'll move on to the next demo that we've got, because we've got a few other games, a few other demo-specific games lined up, or game-specific demos.
Yeah, this is cool. I didn't know about this, I have to admit, mate. I'm not a Resident Evil aficionado. I just loved the games. My brother, as you know, Matt, is.
Did he ever play any of these demos?
Did you, Matt? Because I know Matt will watch this video. Let us know in the comments. I don't know.
He probably did. If he was a reader of the PlayStation magazine like myself, or if he had Resident Evil Director's Cut, then he would have been aware of this demo for definite.
Sure, yeah. I don't know if he owned Director's Cut. Again, we'll have to ask him, but it's cool, this kind of thing. I mean, obviously, with modern day gaming, this is a relic of the past in a literal sense as well. Obviously, this is an old game now, but we just don't get that, do we? Because it's all digital now. Everything's finalized and finished, kind of thing. Apart from the updates we get.
Yeah, absolutely. That nowadays you might get a trial, but it's not a demo. In terms of you'll get the first 8 hours or so, or however many EA Play does of the full game, and that includes any updates that it gets.
Sure.
So we did that, didn't we, with F123 recently? Going off subject slightly.
Yes, we did, yeah. I mean, yeah, the closest we'll get in modern day gaming is maybe like the new FIFA. You play it at launch. Oh, wow, this game is so cool. It's much slower now, etc. Couple of updates later, a few months later, everyone's like, oh, who remembers and misses version 0.8 when it was slow? Look at it now.
Yeah, because it's now really fast because a certain demographic of player wants it jacked up, sped up, and amped up.
Yeah, and they want it. Yeah, they want Monster Energy, cans of it poured down the internet highway to speed it all up. But anyway, as an aside there, guys.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So this is fairly similar to the final game. However, you pick up a key in here. I don't think you do in the final game.
Okay.
So you'll see there's a key flashing away on the table there,
Yeah.
which I'm going to pick up. There we go, precinct key. This unlocks the door basically just before where the liquor is.
Sure, yeah. I've recently played and finished the Resident Evil 2 remake, basically, mate, on Series X. It's fantastic. Really good remake of this. And the placement of stuff is similar, basically. I don't know if it's exactly the same.
They did a great job. From what I saw of the remake in terms of the graphical style, it looks really, really good. I've not personally played it very much because I find it difficult because it's dark and I get scared pretty easily.
You get scared. You've told me before, mate. It cracks me up. I get scared as well, though. I jump, and I wear a headset when I play, but it's like, it is really scary, especially when that dude starts following you around.
Yeah, or you just see that thing crawl past the window and you know that the next thing you're going to be facing is that.
Yeah, these things... Oh...
It's coming.
It's here,
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the shotgun in my hands because a few shotgun shells will blast it. So you see him with his head twisted off.
Oh, here we go, yeah.
And now normally you get a cutscene, a proper FMV cutscene. But of course, in this preview, you don't. You're straight into it. There you go. 2 shotgun shells and he's dead. He's done.
Does he die with 2 in the full game?
I think so, but... Again, I'm not sure if that's difficulty, setting related. Whether
it will be
harder. Yeah,
it will be.
Bits. Yeah, the liquor's always used to frighten me as well, especially later on in Resident Evil 2. The one that comes through the window of the window of the room next door to you. That scared the crap out of me.
That is what I thought was going to happen then. I've got my liquors.
Oh, you thought it was going to come through the window?
Up. Yes, when you approached it on the hallway, I thought he was going to jump through that second window when you went round the corner. But no, you're right. It happens later on.
Yeah, so again, I'm going to run through pretty much to get to that stars ring because I appreciate you don't want to sit here and watch lots of Resident Evil 2 gameplay.
I don't know, I do. I love the art style, mate, of this game, the original. It's absolutely incredible. It hasn't aged a day. I mean, I know the tank controls have, but the actual visuals are stunning in this game.
Yeah, it's really... I mean, PlayStation, PS1, it looks absolutely fantastic. I remember at the time playing this game back in the day, I think it was 98, I might have played this game for the first time, and I was amazed by how good it looked.
Yeah, 98 it would have been for me as well, actually.
Yeah, because I can remember getting this game, Resident Evil 2, and being, really, really happy with it. But of course, back then, I didn't care as much. I didn't get jump scared quite so easy. Now, for some reason... I don't know what it is with me, but I'm scared easily of these games. Not sure why. This must be where they gathered information. There is something that you pick up and then Ada walks in from what I can remember.
Oh.
Here we go. There we go. Yeah. So you pick up the precinct key, you think the demo's going to continue, but it doesn't. It finishes here. There you go.
Wow. Yeah, okay. That was awesome, mate. It was good to see that.
And we should hopefully get some text. There you go. Only just begun. There we go. So that was the Resident Evil 2 preview that you'd have had, which I think is awesome.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's so awesome seeing that. Because, you're just going to be like, I need to have this game now.
Yeah, it absolutely makes you hyped for it. So that was Resident Evil 2 preview. It was also on a PlayStation Magazine demo disc. To be continued. Let's move on to the next game. You're now looking at Tekken 3. This is a demo disc from the Sony PlayStation Magazine. It came in a lovely black CD case. There were people that mistook this for the full game and were trying to sell it on eBay as the full game. But Mike, Tekken 3, do you have any memories with Tekken 3?
I'm going to probably not surprise you. I've never played it. I've played the original. I've played 2. I've never played 3.
You've never played Tekken 3? Wow,
No.
That's quite impressive. So, yeah, this was really awesome that the official UK PlayStation Magazine or official PlayStation Magazine UK had a demo disc specifically for Tekken 3. And they made a special box and everything for it. It was nice. I've got it in my collection, and I thought it would be an interesting one to take a look at. So, here we go. You get 2 characters that you can select from.
Oh, look at this.
Let's
Wait
go
a
with Eddie.
second. Is Eddie in 2?
Eddie is not in 2.
I've played this then. I've definitely played this game then because I always used to use it. Didn't he do like breakdancing moves?
Yes, he does. There's
Okay.
You can spam certain buttons and he'll just do that.
There we
See?
go. Yeah, he's breakdancing. I have played it then. I've played Tekken 3. I don't know where or when.
So,
Do you like these games, man? Silly question, really.
So, back in the day, I absolutely loved Tekken 2, and I played the living daylights out of Tekken 2.
Same.
3 was sort of more of the same, although graphically this is running in a higher resolution mode on the PlayStation, so it looks absolutely amazing compared to the other 2 Tekken games,
Yeah, that's fair.
which impressed me. And it runs, obviously, 50 frames a second for us, but 60 if you were in North America or Japan.
I can't remember that being on the PS1. I always thought Tekken 3 was PS2. I don't know why.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll have a quick bout with Zhao, or Ling. I never say her name right.
Zhao? Yeah, it's pronounced
Yeah.
Zhao.
Yeah, her first name I think is Ling. Here we go. We're at Eddie Gordo's stage with the funky music, which is always cool.
I remember this. So, what was the other option in the front screen? Was it a video, I think?
It was versus mode. So
Okay.
that's something we'll take a quick look at once I finish this fight with Eddie.
That's if my controller works, mate, because we're on Parsec, guys, and it can play funny buggers at times when it comes to controllers, because we're using RetroArch to emulate these demo discs.
Yes, and we had some issues for transparency when we started where it wouldn't pick my controller up at all.
For no reason. And guess what fixed it, guys? Have a guess. You're all going to guess right. Restarted the PC.
Reinstalling Parsec? No, it was restarting the PC.
It's just restart the PC. Oh, it works now, even after we tried everything else.
Crazy, isn't it? So let's see. Can you play? If I do versus mode, there's a 2-player thing on the screen. Can you move? Yes, you can.
I
Look
can.
at this.
I have
Okay,
to
well, it's
play
obvious.
as Eddie.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate, as well. I didn't mean that screen we were just in. I mean, before that, there's a screen right at the beginning, at top of this video.
Okay.
And it said you can play, and there was another option, but I think it was a video, which is just like, yeah, doesn't matter.
I
It's just,
just want to play the game.
yeah, yeah. It would just be watching footage, surely, of this, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it would have been. Although, there was actually a Tekken 3 tournament that took place, from what I can
Really?
remember at one point. Yeah, I think there was. I'll have to see if I can find some details of it. Maybe we can superimpose it on the video. But yeah, there was at one point a Tekken 3 tournament. I think it was held in the UK as well.
This game, and I'm going to get people saying, what are you talking about? Going back to it now, I don't think it's particularly aged well. I think it's a bit clunky to play.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think, and weirdly, compared to the second one, I find this clunky to play. It's very
Okay.
strange. Yeah, I don't know why that is, because it is a damn good game. But you're right.
is.
Maybe it's just we're now used to modern fighting games.
Maybe they've done something with the polygons here. They feel bigger to me, the characters. I don't know.
Yeah, the characters look more detailed compared to the second game for definite.
I mean, at the time, guys, this was like, and if you're a younger viewer, oh, nice move. This was arcade machine in your living room. You know, it was cool, or in your bedroom.
Yeah, it was absolutely awesome to play a game like this. And it continued, of course, because the Virtua Fighter games, they were always so good.
Ah, This is a good game, but yeah, it's definitely a bit clunky. Everything feels a little bit sluggish.
Yeah. So there we go. That's the characters that I've used. And yeah, our only options here are arcade mode and versus mode. And as you say, the menu before this, it would have just been video.
Rolling videos, yeah.
Yeah, I can quickly see what it would have been. Let's just go back to it. And let's have a look. Is it just going to be a video of Tekken 3?
That music alone's got so many memories for me.
Yeah. And me for all the PlayStation Magazine demo discs. Yes. And of course, we've covered a load of them in previous episodes, so go and check them out. Yeah, it's a Tekken 3 video. This looks like the intro of the actual game itself.
Look at the quality. What is this, 320p?
Yeah, probably 240 or
240, yeah.
Yeah, some low version of 240. But the PlayStation could play videos, which I thought back in the day was super impressive.
Yeah, it was cutting edge, wasn't it, for its time?
Yeah, it was. To be able to see this, footage of these games, I mean, it was just amazing. It really was. So we get the idea.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sorry, that robot dude with the sword, he wasn't in 2 or 1, was he?
He was, yeah, that's Yoshimitsu.
No, him. There, with the sword. Was that Yoshimitsu?
Yes, he
was. I always used to use him as well. I didn't know he was in the first 2.
Yeah, Yoshimitsu was in the first 2 games as well. So I say, we know how this goes with this video. Let's move on to the next game. So this one is Ridge Racer Turbo Mode. Now, this particular demo disc came with Ridge Racer Type 4, and it was a bit of a tech demo, really, because as they were doing things in the build-up to creating Ridge Racer Type 4, they changed some of the graphics, in particular using a different shading technique. And one of the things that was sort of questioned to the developers of this game, could you make Ridge Racer run at 60 frames per second? So that was a challenge that was set during that time. So what they did was they created this. And you're going to see in a second what this is.
I couldn't believe my eyes then when I saw a 60 frames per second option.
Yeah, so here we go. I'll do what I usually do. I've got all the normal cars unlocked, as you can see, because I've just won that mini game at the start there. It's Ridge Racer, the first Ridge Racer game, but in 60 frames per second. Silky smooth 60 FPS.
Look at this, man. This is going to be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the game feel so much faster as well, but yeah. I couldn't believe it. When I saw this demo disc, I was like, oh my god, Ridge Racer at 60 FPS. I mean, admittedly, you can see it's just me and this red car. There's no other cars on the track.
This is crazy. So, how could the PS1 do this? That's where I'm a bit confused here.
So they've used a different shading technique for the graphics. So presumably that's taken some of the load off of the PlayStation's graphics processor.
Okay.
And also, of course, there's only me and one other car. It hasn't got all the other cars to worry about. So that's also helping it. But yeah, this is absolutely mind-blowing that they could do this. And it literally was just a technical challenge. They set themselves, can we do something 60 FPS with the original Ridge Racer? And the answer is yes. Like this, they could do it. And this is absolutely amazing. Can you imagine, Mike, if this came out with new modern-day graphics, 60 FPS, on the PS5 and the Series S and X?
Oh, don't, mate.
I know I keep mentioning that every other video.
No, it does need to be said every video as well. I mean, I love how they've discovered a workaround by, like you've said, taking away the other AI, basically, or the other cars to get the 60 frames per second. And it shows how such a good developer they were, Namco.
Yeah, Namco were absolutely fantastic. And it's just such a shame that, they're not around, they're not doing these sorts of games anymore, because we haven't had a Ridge Racer game since the one on the PlayStation Vita, which was okay. It was okay, but it wasn't brilliant, so maybe that was why they gave up on it. But this needs to come back, in my opinion, Mike, in a big way.
I keep thinking it says Pogba on the back of your car at the bottom. Yeah, just as an aside there, guys. How the hell haven't we got Ridge Racer 2023 on the PS5? Like, why? It would sell like hotcakes.
It would, it absolutely would. Or, in this spirit of remaking, remastering games, why hasn't somebody gone to Namco and said, right, that Ridge Racer series that was really good on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2, why don't you make a 4K Ultra HD remaster of it? Because that is a bit of a trend, or has been a bit of a trend for the last few years, isn't it? do that, because as you say, it would sell like hotcakes. But more importantly, make sure that the gameplay is similar to how it used to be, and you've got online play. Because can you imagine taking this online? It would be so good.
It'd be incredible. I mean, they've done it, haven't they? Or not in the case of Ridge Racer, but with Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, that's right. That was a few years ago.
Because Streets of Rage 4 was awesome. Yes, they've stuck to the fundamentals as well, but it's shiny and it's 60 frames per second in 4K. It looks fantastic. But yeah, that was cool, man.
That was really good. So that was Ridge Racer Turbo Mode, also known here in the UK or in Europe as Ridge Racer the High Spec Demo. Our version ran at 50 hertz or 50 frames a second. The North American and Japanese demo ran at 60. So let's move on, because we've got a really special disc coming up next. Now this demo, this one is really special. This one is also quite a rare disc. In fact, it's rumoured to be one of the rarest PAL territory PlayStation discs in existence, Mike. This is Blockbuster PlayStation Challenge. And that logo you saw there gives the game away as to what the Blockbuster PlayStation Challenge game was. It was Rage Racer.
Yeah, you've talked about this game a lot. It's one I haven't got experience with. But yeah, to see that Blockbuster logo there, man, just the nostalgia. I loved Blockbuster.
Yeah, as did I. I would regularly go there, especially when they started allowing you to rent games.
Yes.
I'd go there and rent games. It was absolutely awesome. But yeah, there was a UK games tournament held in 1997, and this particular disc was used in Blockbuster stores so that you could go there and try and qualify for said UK games tournament. It was just such an awesome thing to do.
Wow, so they had the console rigged up there in the store for the competitions.
Yeah, they did, and this particular demo disc. Now, there wasn't actually that many stores, apparently, that participated, so not many of these discs exist. So that's why it's rumoured to be one of the rarest PAL PlayStation discs in existence. And I'm here to tell all the CM viewers, I've got one of those discs in my collection of PlayStation games.
Wow, that's awesome,
I have
man.
one of those, and I will include a picture so that can be put onto this video so that you can see my Blockbuster PlayStation Challenge disc, so you can see what it looks like.
That's super cool. I wonder how many Blockbuster outlets in the UK we saw these pods.
Yeah, that would have been interesting to know, actually. I know that there are people that have tried to get information about this. I've even reached out to somebody that was massive in the games industry in the 90s here in the UK. I reached out to Dave Perry, who some of you might remember from Games Master. Unfortunately, he didn't know about this games tournament, which surprised me a little bit, because I was hoping he could have shed some light on this.
Yeah, sure, because Dave Perry entered these kind of competitions as well, didn't he? I remember him on Games Master.
Yeah, he did. He was a UK gaming champion, so he won a lot of tournaments. I think, though, from what I can remember, his main genre of game was fighting games.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I remember that, actually. Oh, it's so cool seeing these old games, but like demo versions on rare Blockbuster edition discs. It's just crazy, a crazy world in gaming.
And literally, as soon as you finish your session, your run, it takes you straight back to this screen again. And there is the UK Games Tournament 1997 logo. Look at that.
Yeah,
awesome, isn't it?
It's absolutely that music.
Awesome. I love the music on the PlayStation demo discs.
Same.
They were so cool. So that was Blockbuster PlayStation Challenge. We're going to move on, guys, to the PlayStation 2 for the next one. So now we're taking a look at Gran Turismo 2000 on the Sony PlayStation 2 this time. And it's about to kick off into the auto demo, but that's absolutely fine. So this disc was actually given out to people that attended the PlayStation Festival, which took place in Japan in early 2000, Mike.
Oh, wow. So you obviously didn't get your hands on this back in the day.
No, back in the day, I wouldn't have been fortunate enough to get it, but there would have been people that would have been at that event that would have got their hands on this, would have played it on a demo pod, and would have been given a disc. There were other demos too that were handed out at that event, and I've got some of them. And yes, I have got a copy of Gran Turismo 2000.
Oh, wow. I love the car models in this. I know PCSX2 is doing some upscaling, but it still looks super cool.
Yeah, it's definitely doing some upscaling. This game, it literally is a time demo. You get to pick one car, and you're racing around the Seattle track, which will be familiar to anybody that's played Gran Turismo 2 on the PlayStation.
Oh, look at this.
It is absolutely awesome. It really is. Can you imagine being there, Mike, pre-PlayStation 2 launch?
I know.
In that amazing exhibition place, playing this.
Is this the Gran Turismo which I had bundled with my PS2?
Yes, this is indeed an early version. Yeah, it's an early version of Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. This is when they were still calling it Gran Turismo 2000. And I can remember reading the PlayStation magazine back in the day in early 2000 when this was still called Gran Turismo 2000. And I was hyped for it.
I wish I still had that PS2, the box, the works that I bought. Because I bought that a while after the PS2 hit the shops. But I always remember getting home, booting this up straight away and just playing the hell out of it for days and days and days.
And I still love Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. I think it's a fantastic game, and it's one that we need to cover in the future on one of our videos. Old School was probably the most appropriate place for it. But yeah, Gran Turismo 2000, it literally just is, pick this Lance Revolution, pick the colour of it, you're thrown straight into the Seattle circuit, you've got a time limit. It literally is as simple and as straightforward as that. But any of you that have played Gran Turismo 2 will notice the graphics. They look like Gran Turismo 2, but upscaled for the PlayStation 2.
It's a funny series, Gran Turismo, because some of the games I love, and some of them I can't stand. They're just more like tech demos.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about Gran Turismo. I mean, for instance, I loved 3, but I wasn't a big fan of 4, despite the fact of everybody seemingly loving 4. I wasn't a big fan of it.
Yeah, it's a funny series like that, but that Forza's gone the same way as well. That was brilliant. Like, Forza 2 was one of my favourite races. A story for another day, guys. We'll cover that as well for Old School. We'll use your 360 and capture card as a going off subject a little bit. But yeah, it's super cool seeing this. It looks fantastic, even to this day.
And the Gran Turismo 2000 disc, which again, superimpose it in. I'll show you the case and the sleeve and the disc. Is rumoured to be very, very rare because there wasn't that many discs at the event that were handed out, and this wasn't something you could go and buy from anywhere. So yeah, it's a cool thing to have in my collection. But Mike, and you're going to go, what? I've got 2 copies of Gran Turismo 2000.
Why?
And I'll explain how. So I bought one years and years ago, and arguably I paid a bit over the odds for it. But I was never happy because the front slipcase had a bit of damage to it.
Okay.
Now, I found this site called Sendico, which allows you to buy things from Japanese auctions. And thinking nothing of it, I put in a really cheeky £25 bid in for Gran Turismo 2000, thinking there's no way this is going to happen, there's no way I'm going to get it. 6 weeks later, on my doormat is a copy of Gran Turismo 2000 that's in way better shape than my original copy. So I've got 2 copies of this.
Wow, that'll be worth money, mate, surely. Be worth more than what you paid for it anyway.
Definitely. It's great to have 2 copies. But yeah, so that was Gran Turismo 2000, and that was this awesome episode of Demo Discs. There'll be more coming soon, don't worry, that's not the end of it. Mike, I want to thank you as ever for having me on the channel for DaveStation.
Oh, mate, I've enjoyed it, and thanks for all of your photos, giving me more editing work to do. I really appreciate it. I'm only kidding, Dave. We'll get the photos on there, guys. You would have seen them already.